How much does a life cost? Well, for those diagnosed with diabetes each year, we spend $826 billion worldwide. Yes, that's right, $826 billion. This is what most would consider a health crisis. Hi, I'm Dr. Sunrain.
And I'm Dr. Mike. And you are watching the Doctor's Journal, where we explore the many health challenges facing today's society, especially here in the Caribbean. We examine your medical conditions from diagnosis to treatment to help you track your health.
In today's show, we're about to explore one of the greatest health threats, diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic, progressive disease characterized by systemic hyperglycemia, or in other words, high blood sugar. This happens when the body has very low levels of insulin, or when the body doesn't recognize insulin and thus cannot use it properly. According to the American Diabetes Association, there are approximately 463 million diabetics in the world.
Now, those diagnosed with diabetes generally fall into two categories, type 1 and type 2. Do you know the difference? Well, let me explain. Type 1 diabetes is usually a genetic disorder which often shows up early in life. It is characterized by an attack on the immune system on your pancreas, which results in the destruction of its insulin-producing cells.
In contrast, in type 2 diabetes, the insulin is present, but it does not work as it should. WHO statistics reveal that type 2 diabetes is actually the most dominant type, occurring in over 95% of diabetics, and is mainly diet and lifestyle related, developing in patients over time. So let's consider this. Let's say I'm a 60-year-old diabetic and I eat a full plate of fruits for breakfast.
Dr. Sunrain, how much sugar did you just eat?
Well, let's find out. To understand how the body is affected, let's talk about how sugar is broken down. What we doctors like to call the metabolism of glucose. Our pancreas produces a very important hormone in this process called insulin. I'm sure we've heard about insulin before, but how many of us know what it actually does in our body? Insulin is released when we eat sugary foods and those high in carbohydrate. So when we eat our roti, our dal and rice, the things Australians love, it allows the sugar from those foods we just ate to move through the bloodstream and travel to our organs, where it is used as energy. So it's like the electricity in the lines that power our houses. If there's too much electricity, a fuse can blow. However, if there's not enough, we're looking at a possible blackout.
Another outlook is actually the lock and key model. Essentially, insulin is the key that allows glucose to enter into the cell. When we have insulin resistance, the insulin is no longer able to open the door to allow the glucose to go into the cell.
As you can see, with diabetes, the insulin either does not work well or it's not being produced by the pancreas, resulting in high blood sugar.
Well, don't go anywhere. Right after the break, we explore the most life-threatening signs and symptoms. And later on, we teach you how to manage your diabetes.
Every year, over 145 million persons seek out the emergency room, most admitted due to ongoing medical conditions. Here on the Doctor's Journal, we aim to fix that by addressing the most prominent and devastating medical conditions faced right here in the Caribbean. And your product can help. If you or anyone you know has a product or service that you would like featured on the Doctor's Journal, contact us today at 266-SGPS. That's 266-7477. Or email us at marketing@sgpstudios.com.
Eat healthy and stay positive with O-Snacks Omega 3. Enjoy almonds filled with vitamin E, healthy fats and fiber. Walnuts may decrease bad cholesterol, lower blood pressure and provide diabetic support. Amp up your vitamin B1 with pecans. Pumpkin seeds are rich in iron, protein and zinc. Dried cranberries are an antioxidant, heart-healthy superfood. Boost your immunity with Omega 3 Mix. O-Snacks, a healthier choice.
Welcome back to the Doctor's Journal. Did you know that diabetes is the most prevalent chronic disease in Trinidad and Tobago? So according to the WHO, Trinidad and Tobago has the second highest prevalence in the Western Hemisphere and the fifth highest mortality rate in the world. That is alarming, won't you say?
It is. Diabetes is also the number one cause of blindness, coronary artery disease, and kidney failure. One of the biggest concerns we have is how can diabetes affect me, right? So let's simplify. Diabetes complications can be broken down into microvascular complications or small vessel disease, or macrovascular or large vessel disease.
In microvascular, we actually can experience damage to our eyes, which can lead to blindness. Damage to the kidneys can actually lead to kidney failure, and if left untreated, require dialysis or even renal transplantation. Your nerves can also be damaged, causing neuropathy, where some may experience lack of sensation, pain, or tingling under the feet. This predisposes diabetics to sustain foot injuries, unknowingly also, which commonly leads to severe infections, which may even require amputation.
Right, and with macrovascular complications, we increase our risk of strokes. We also increase our risk of coronary artery disease, which can lead us to heart attacks. And one of the very scary complications is when blood vessels in the limbs become compromised and lead to gangrene and auto-mummification, which usually requires amputations.
So, who is most at risk? Let's start from the inception. There are some factors we cannot change, but we need to know. First up, genetics or family history.
What do you mean about that though?
Well, essentially, if you have a sibling, meaning a brother or sister, or even a parent that has diabetes, you are at a substantially increased risk for developing diabetes. Those of you who are Asian and Indian descent have some of the highest rates of diabetes.
Now, if you're over 45 years of age, unfortunately, you're at increased risk. Sorry, it's just one of the downsides of aging. Now, let's try to understand the risk factors that we can modify or control. For females, having polycystic ovarian syndrome or PCOS increases the risk greatly of having diabetes.
Now let's get to the elephant in the room and possibly the biggest risk factor, being overweight or obese. If we look at this article from the WHO, it suggests the primary reasons for the rise in obesity include inexpensive or cheap calorie-dense foods, example snacks you may buy at the corner shop or supermarket, a high sugar diet. There has also been a push towards low-fat intake, which has resulted in an exceedingly high consumption of simple sugars and carbohydrates.
Also, a huge contributor is inactivity. With the advent of new technology, which is undoubtedly making things more convenient. For example, now we don't have to leave our home to go to meetings with our peers, or to leave our home to get food or even make groceries.
Does this sound familiar? Well, in this episode, we are going to help you manage your diabetes with simple lifestyle changes. After this quick break, we dive right into the do's and don'ts of testing your blood sugar levels.
At At Athena Clinic, we're committed to helping you boost your confidence and live your best life. Enhance your appearance with a non-surgical procedure or optimize your health with one of our expert doctor consultations and diet and fitness plan. Call today at 282-2262.
The best for your baby is at thebesttoys.com. From the best strollers, car seats, baby carriers, high chairs, booster seats, rockers, jumpers and bouncers, walkers, baby blankets, feeding accessories, bathtubs, gyms and playmats, playpens, cribs, baby swings, changing tables, diaper bags, clothing and accessories, and the widest range of educational toys. We carry Infantino, Dr. Brown, Avent, Graco, Chico, Fisher-Price, VTech, Leapfrog, Disney Baby, Delta Children, Medela, and Twist Shape. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McBean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 332-BABY. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Today we have with us Mr. Jeremy Bellamy, which is our nutritionist on set, to help us out demonstrate how to test your blood sugar.
Hey Jeremy, how's it going?
Hey guys, I'm great, man.
Thanks for being here.
Firstly, we need to take the patient's hand, clean it with an alcohol pad. We allow it some time to dry. So, Dr. Mike is going to show you. Some patients may have a lancet at home, which is a little machine that sticks the skin for you, and some may use a needle. With the lancet, you set the needle in the barrel, close it, place it to the tip of the finger like Dr. Mike just did. You press the button and it goes ahead and sticks in the finger for you.
So Jeremy's sugar is actually 120 milligrams per deciliter. So we will continue to follow him up. Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back in about 6 months.
Okay, great.
You take care, right?
Thanks.
As we see in the table here, you can fall into one of 3 categories. So in the green, we see normal, which is an HbA1c of 5.6 or lower, a fasting blood sugar of less than 99 milligrams per deciliter. Then we have pre-diabetic, which is our second category. It falls between 5.7 to 6.4 on your HbA1c test, or between the levels on your fasting blood sugar test of 100 to 125 milligrams per deciliter. Now, the most important category of all is diabetic. You need to remember this value. 6.5 or above on your HbA1c test, or fasting blood sugar of greater than 126, which is usually, as we said before, measured first thing in the morning. So keep that in mind, fasting blood sugar first thing in the morning. These tests and figures are important as they help us determine what stage you're at and ultimately guide the course of treatment.
Well, a reading of 500 milligrams per deciliter and higher is an immediate red flag. This requires emergency medical assistance. At this stage, the diabetic patient is in a state of hyperglycemic crisis that may result in significant morbidity and death. Another important thing to always look out for is the precipitating cause. This is actually a diabetic foot of a patient who sustained a puncture wound, and because of the neuropathy did not even know that he had this wound for 2 weeks. Another red flag is when the sugar dips too low, and the patient can actually go into a hypoglycemic coma.
You want to look out for these symptoms: an irregular fast heartbeat, right? Next one is fatigue.
Pay attention to pale skin. When the blood sugar is low, the body releases adrenaline and noradrenaline. This is an aim to increase the blood sugar. This is the fight or flight hormone and can lead to shaking, tremor, anxiety, sweating, even hunger and irritability.
Now, this can be extremely scary, and especially when dealing with a loved one who is experiencing these symptoms. So what do you want to do about it? You want to practice the 15 by 15 rule, right? So if your blood sugar is between 55 to 69 milligrams per deciliter, you want to raise it by the following 15 by 15 rule. So having 15 grams of carbs, and you check your blood sugar in 15 minutes. So these items that we're going to show you can raise your blood sugar by that 15. So it's a half cup of juice or regular soft drink, 1 tablespoon of sugar or honey, and always you want to keep sweeties or candies or jelly beans close by.
The best birthday gifts are at debesttoys.com. Shop for the best brands you love at the best prices, like VTech, Leapfrog, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Hot Wheels, Barbie, Cocomelon, LOL, Baby Alive, Crayola, Lego, Nerf, and remote control vehicles, kids learning desks and educational toys, ride-ons, bikes, drones, science toys, and board games and puzzles, and a wide range of baby items. We also have the best devices for school, like laptops, the Amazon Fire 7 tablet, the Amazon Fire 8, 10, and Kids Edition tabs, as well as cases and accessories. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship MacBean. Shop online now at debesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 32DBEST to order. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Medical Associates Hospital St. Joseph, the #1 private healthcare institution, has 24-hour emergency room care, admissions, outpatient clinics, laboratories, diagnostics, surgery, endoscopy, MRI imaging, cath lab, medical emergencies, specialty services, and an ICU facility. Medical Associates Hospital's team of highly qualified medical personnel and the versatile array of services we offer make us the leader in private hospital care in the Caribbean.
Welcome back to the Doctor's Journal, where we help you track your health. So what can we do to prevent or manage diabetes? Well, here are some key tips. First, early detection is key. So practice regular screening. The earlier you are diagnosed, the faster you can make lifestyle changes to curb your dependency on medication. Also, knowing the signs of diabetes complications and intervening can not only improve the quality of life of a diabetic patient, but it can also save it. This is why education is of the highest importance. The more we know of diabetes, the better you can take care of yourself. Also important is developing a strong support system. For example, teaching loved ones what to do when your blood sugar levels are too high or too low. You cannot stress this enough. Keep blood sugar logs. Logging your readings helps your doctor design the best treatment plan for you. And of course, maintaining healthy diet and regular physical activity. After the break, we'll find out what Dr. Sunarayan has to show us.
Sneezing, sniffling, scratching? Reacted to your favorite food? Think it might be allergies? We at Allergenics provide personalized diagnosis and treatment for food, drug, contact, and aero allergens. Call us today at 480-4362.
Are you looking for a customizable studio space with green and white screen cyclorama and professional production equipment to carry out your next big project? SGP Studios is the perfect fit for you. TNT's largest studio space with an overhead lighting grid and sound treated, perfect for television commercials, music videos, television programs, social media content, and film productions. We also have a wide range of production equipment available for rental. You can choose from a selection of Netflix Diagnostics approved cameras, modern lighting equipment, professional audio gear, 40-foot and 20-foot cranes, gimbals, drones, lenses, action cameras, and more, all at competitive prices. Whether you need a high-end cinema camera for a feature film shoot, specialized lighting equipment for music video, or audio gear for a podcast, we've got you covered. And with our easy online booking system, you can reserve the gear you need in just a few clicks. Check us out online at sgpstudios.com.
Welcome back to the Doctor's Journal. If you're now joining us, we've been talking about diabetes. Now, as we mentioned earlier, diabetes affects more than 463 million people across the globe, and the curbing certainly adds to that number. We decided to take a trip to Medical Associates to interview Prof. Vijay Narayan Singh, who has a wealth of knowledge and experience in treating diabetic foot. Welcome to the program, and thank you for taking the time to chat with us today. Can you firstly explain where we are for the viewers that might not recognize this room?
Well, we are in an operating room, which is the way I treat diabetic feet. I deal only with the surgery of it. I don't do the medical side. We have physicians handling that. We have orthopedic people handling the bony complications, but I deal with the vascular and septic complications of diabetic foot, which is in fact the largest volume of diabetic foot disease. I've been following it for just over 40 years. So our first paper was 42 years ago.
Right.
And then we were losing about 250 legs per year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, no, we are now losing 600 per year. Wow. So it means that every day when you hear there's a murder, there's also a limb loss.
So what would you say, what is the first signs and symptoms you'd see?
Neuropathy, meaning they don't have good sensation in the foot. And we described from Trinidad, first time in the world literature, something called the slipping slipper sign, where the patient is walking and the slipper slips off the foot. And they don't know it slipped off, and they walk and then they realize the slipper slipped off because they don't have sensation in the foot to know the slipper is gone.
Yeah.
The slipping slipper sign is one of the best signs that a patient or family can notice to say this foot is in trouble, because almost every amputation we have for sepsis and neuropathy has had a slipping slipper sign positive for the last year.
So tell us a little bit about what happens when you are forced to treat a patient in this room.
Well, the two major things we do in this room, apart from cutting off legs, our limb salvage rate though is quite good, I must say that. Because we have a cardiac catheterization lab, so that we can pass catheters down the leg, we can balloon angioplasty the blood vessels, we can stent the blood vessels, we can restore circulation to a limb that already has gangrene or impending gangrene and salvage the limb.
That's big.
If that doesn't work, then the next step is we can bring them here and do open bypass surgery. Bypass surgery carries about a 90% success rate, really good. They're long operations, they're major operations, but the success rate is excellent.
So then what are some of these steps patients can take to avoid having an amputation or even worse, death?
Now there is actually a way that you can put a mirror at a 45 degree on the ground in the corner, and you just put your foot in front of it and you see in the mirror what under your foot looks like.
The whole thing.
Yeah, because most of the trauma we see really starts at the bottom of the foot. Yeah. We've had patients walking around with a thumbtack in their foot for days because they don't get pain. You see, if you and I get a cut and it gets infected, you'll get pain, you're hardly walking. They have no sensation, so they're walking on it like normal. If you find anything wrong with your foot, see an expert right away.
Thank you so much, Prof. Narayan Singh, for taking your time to educate our viewers on diabetic foot. I'm sure they learned a lot from you.
So here are some tips for taking care of your feet. Prevent serious foot complications by preventing trauma. Trauma means avoiding high-risk things like gardening barefooted, walking in the yard barefooted. And when you get an injury, you should seek attention immediately. Avoid the home remedies, the candle wax and the various leaves and the herbal remedies. See a specialist urgently. Look for cuts, redness, swelling, blisters, ulcers, and so on. Have somebody inspect your feet if possible, because you may not be able to see very well. Wash your feet, keep it clean, dry it properly, and cream so that you would have it moist. Better have somebody do it for you so that they can notice any abnormality.
Every year, over 145 million persons seek out the emergency room, most admitted due to ongoing medical conditions. Here on the Doctor's Journal, we aim to fix that by addressing the most prominent and devastating medical conditions faced right here in the Caribbean. And your product can help. If you or anyone you know has a product or service that you would like featured on the Doctor's Journal, contact us today at 266-SGPS. That's 266-7477. Or email us at marketing@sgpstudios.com.
Ways to manage your diabetes is to incorporate a healthy physical regime into your weekly routine. We have with us today certified personal trainer Nigel Ramsey, who will guide us through some easy exercises you can do at home.
That's right, but first I only need to know one thing. Are you ready to lower your blood sugar and get your diabetes under control?
Are you ready?
The goal of these exercises we will be doing today is to increase insulin sensitivity and lower insulin requirements. We are going to incorporate stretching, aerobics exercises, and resistance exercises into our workout today.
Sounds like we're going to be breaking a sweat here. How much time should we put aside for doing this then?
We only need 45 minutes a day, 2 to 3 days per week.
Oh, that's not bad.
And our first exercise will be stretching. When stretching, you want to focus on each major muscle group and hold there for 10 to 30 seconds. We're going to lift our arms up.
Okay, like this?
Yes, like this. And we're going to breathe in, inhale, and then we're going to go down, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One more, inhale, and exhale. So we're going to repeat this 2 to 3 times.
Okay.
And our second stretch, we are going to lift our arms up again.
Okay.
You take your left arm, you hold your right wrist.
Like this?
Yes, and we're going to go tilt to our left.
Left. Okay.
And we're going to hold there for at least 10 to 30 seconds. How is that feeling?
Definitely feel it on my side.
Oh, that's great. So we're going to do the other arm. You take the right arm, hold the left wrist, and you go all the way to your right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So you feel that on the obliques area as well?
Definitely.
Great. Wonderful. So we're going to repeat that as well 2 to 3 times.
Okay, great.
Okay. We have one last stretch before we get into our exercises.
Okay.
It's called a calf lunge.
All right.
All right. So we're going to take our left knee,
Okay.
put it forward,
Like this.
our right leg, put it backward,
Okay.
and you're going to plant your feet flat
Okay.
on the ground. And you're going to go forward with your back leg flat on the ground, and you're going to feel that on the calf. Are you feeling that?
Yeah.
Excellent. And we're going to go to the other leg now. So you're going to repeat that for 3 to 4 times, okay?
Okay.
So we'll go to the other leg, plant the left leg flat behind, and you hold it right there. You press onto the floor, feeling that pull on the calf.
Yeah, definitely.
We are going to engage in aerobic exercises and resistance exercises, or even better, we can do both.
Okay, great.
We will start with some squats. So we're going to spread the legs apart,
Okay.
and we're going to go down into a seated position. Down, up, down, up. So we're going to do 4 sets of 10 reps. Next, we have calf raises. That's going to strengthen the calf. We're going to put both feet together,
Okay.
and we're going to lift on the toes. You
Okay.
go up on the toes, and you go down on the heel. So you could use your arms for balance as well when you're going up.
Okay.
You get balance there, you go down. Up, down, up, down. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're going to move right into our other exercise, which is called sit to stand. So we're going
Okay.
to come by the chair here.
Okay.
You're going to stand next to the chair. Your legs are jamming the chair.
Oh.
And we're going to sit like this and raise up.
But not stay
Yes,
seated.
no, we're not going to stay seated. Excellent. This is called sit to stand. Okay, you keep the arms out, up and down. So we're going to actually do maybe 4 sets of this, 10 reps, and up. For resistance training, you can add a resistance band or you can use some weights in order to get your resistance that you're looking for in the body.
Oh, great. I definitely feel more energized now. Thank you, Nigel. For more exercises to treat diabetes as well as other conditions, you can check out our social media pages for more. That really works up an appetite. Usually after a rigorous workout, we want to naturally compensate for the calorie strain. So we have to be prepared to make the right dietary choices. So coming up after the break, we head to the kitchen. So join us after the break with the Doctor's Journal.
Every year, over 145 million persons seek out the emergency room, most admitted due to ongoing medical conditions. Here on the Doctor's Journal, we aim to fix that by addressing the most prominent and devastating medical conditions faced right here in the Caribbean. And your product can help. If you or anyone you know has a product or service that you would like featured on the Doctor's Journal, contact us today at 266-SGPS. That's 266-7477. Or email us at marketing@sgpstudios.com.
Welcome back. Here to help with our diet is certified nutritionist Jeremy Bellamy. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me, Dr. Mike.
And you know we love our sugar here in the Caribbean. Let's see how we can enjoy the foods we love but still keep our blood sugar levels in check.
It's important to know the difference between the 2 types of carbs. Now, there are simple carbs, which are found in everything from table sugar to fruit, while complex carbs or starches come from whole grains, vegetables, provisions. Complex carbohydrates take longer to digest and are actually a more stable source of energy than simple carbohydrates. However, the method of preparation is key, as well as portion control, Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
Now, simple carbohydrates to avoid are typically in processed foods or those with added sugar. Added sugar actually increases the food's caloric intent without providing any additional nutrition. We call it empty calories.
So Jeremy, why are complex carbs so beneficial to us?
Great question, Dr. Mike. Well, first up, complex carbs are actually higher in fiber than simple carbs, and it actually doesn't raise your glycemic index like simple carbs would, right? And it also digests slower, so that's a great benefit. Now, your daily diet is made up of the foods that you eat each day. Basically, it constitutes from the 6 food groups. Persons with diabetes must take special care to ensure that their daily food intake helps to maintain normal blood sugar levels throughout the day.
So what you're trying to say is that a diabetic patient can't eat the same food a non-diabetic patient would eat?
Absolutely. Now, it's very important that they actually eat foods that are less in sugar, obviously, and they don't want to be able to spike their blood sugar levels as well as dip their blood sugar levels.
I fully agree with that.
Absolutely. So here in front of us, we have some items that we consume daily. These items are actually harmful to our health or could be harmful to our health, and it could contribute to increased blood sugar levels. So we have some chocolate chip pancakes.
That looks very yummy.
It does, but it has 11 grams of sugar per pancake. Now let's decide we're gonna add some syrup onto the pancake.
Wow.
That's 12.5 grams
Wow.
of sugar. And we have 6 pancakes here, so you can do the maths.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Now, we have a bowl of cereal here, sugary cereal. This bowl of cereal is actually 10 grams, equivalent to 10 grams of sugar. For those who love their tea and sweeten it with condensed milk, 1 tablespoon of condensed milk, Dr. Mike,
Wow.
is approximately 12.5 grams of sugar.
Whew, crazy.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Mike, what do you think we have here for lunch?
Well, I'm seeing some stewed chicken.
Lovely.
I'm seeing some macaroni pie.
Yeah, I love a good Bajan macaroni pie.
I love my trini pie.
Good, nice.
We have some rice,
Good.
and I'm seeing Some coleslaw.
Coleslaw, nice. This is approximately a few grams of sugar, about 45 grams of carbs with the rice. You have coleslaw. But look at this sweet drink. This
Right.
sweet drink is about 77 grams of sugar
Wow.
for 500 plus milliliters.
Wait, but this is not even a full serving there?
No, this is not a full serving.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but isn't coleslaw a salad?
yeah, it is a salad. But in terms of the preparation, mayonnaise as well as added sugar could be the culprit here.
Wow. Well, let's dig into dinner. This
Yeah.
looks really interesting.
Yeah, it does. You know, this is chicken Alfredo. Only 3 grams of sugar, you know, but guess what? Most people top that off with a soft drink or a sweetened beverage, which is a lot of grams of sugar. But guess what? The portion as well is very important to note here.
And I know people literally would eat this amount for dinner.
So you want to definitely have a better control of your portion. This is a lot. Dr. Mike, what foods do you think that we could avoid? Sugary foods, for example, Dr. Mike, donuts with a lot of icing and sprinkles, high sugar content. Definitely want to avoid those. We showed pancakes with syrup as well too. You definitely want to avoid those as well as a diabetic.
What about the juice?
What about the juice? Well, avoid sweetened juices with added sugar. A diabetic should definitely use unsweetened juices and maybe a half cup. Soda in a cup, or soft drink as we call it, is another big culprit. Definitely you want to avoid soft drinks or soda. You want to also avoid cooking with excess oil and butter, Dr. Mike.
That's like fried foods in general.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
these yummy pastries.
Yeah.
Wow, and our roti.
Yeah, you want to use these things in moderation. You definitely want to avoid too much salt. And you know, what I want to talk about really is avoiding, or what some measures, simple measures we could take to maintain our blood sugars in a normal range. Number 1, you want to definitely have a balanced and healthy breakfast. Now, eating breakfast actually prevents you from doing what? Guess what? Overeating. It gives you the energy that you need to face your day, but it also helps you to feel fuller for longer. You want to definitely eat smaller portions. You want to use your hand portion sizes to learn. You want to learn about the portion sizes.
So
you can use your
fist?
fist. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You want to definitely use your fist. You can look at your fingertip as well too as an option. So you want to be able to know how much you should actually portion, or the right portions for your meals. So we have starches here, which is complex carbohydrates. We have some provision. You know, you love green fig?
Yeah.
Right, nice. We have green fig. We also have protein. Nice chicken breast.
Yeah.
Right after the gym, you may drink a protein shake, but guess what? You can have a nice chicken breast, high protein meal. You also have beans and peas as well as an option. We have cooked vegetables. We have carrots, broccoli, and we also have fresh salad, tomato, cucumber, lettuce. Now, the sweet potato, green fig, chicken breast, cooked vegetables, fresh salad.
How many of you viewing actually set up your plate using these portion sizes?
Yeah, are you consuming half a plate of greens or vegetables?
The setup of your plate is actually partly to blame for the obesity pandemic. So, Jeremy, what else can we do?
Yeah, great question. I always recommend eating small, frequent meals, like I mentioned. Eating every 3 to 4 hours is ideal. Now, we start with eating breakfast from the 6 food groups, balanced breakfast. Then you could have a mid-morning snack, which involves some fruits. For example, pawpaw, apples, maybe yogurt, even unprocessed nuts as a snack. Then you have lunch. Then you can have an afternoon snack. It could be a porridge or a salad. Do you like salads?
Yeah.
Good, lovely.
Nice Caesar salad.
Nice, great. Dinner. Then you actually, those are the meals that you could have. Eating regular spaced meals throughout the day, Dr. Mike, actually helps to prevent spikes and dips in blood sugar levels. And this is very important for persons who are on insulin.
Stick a pin. Remember, guys, insulin should be taken within half an hour of eating.
Yeah. So Dr. Mike, how could people overcome this in terms of their diet? Now, they can actually eat more lean meats, right? Like chicken, right? We could also eat fish, high protein. And you see, the high protein meals actually helps to quell their cravings and it helps them to feel fuller for longer.
And we know that's a big problem in our culture.
Yeah. They could also consume cooked vegetables, legumes like peas and beans, and that's very good.
Oh, that's nice. So that means I could add some canned beans to my grocery list.
Well, canned beans, there's a little preservatives there. Why not add the packed beans? That might be a better option.
Yeah.
You could actually eat more unprocessed or non-canned foods, complex carbs, as I said, like provisions instead of pasta and rice, or provisions in higher portions than the pasta and rice. You want to eat foods high in fiber, right? So you want to eat foods flaxseed, barley, you definitely want to be able to have even like a whole grain or whole wheat pasta, steel cut oats. You have some options here, flaxseed as well as barley, right? High fiber foods. So, Dr. Mike, what do you do when you know you love something, but you know you shouldn't have it? Let it go, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, and I know, and Dr. Mike knows that we might make more progress with a quick substitute. So instead of having white flour or white bread, right? Let's replace that with a carbohydrate that your body could effectively use. Whereas we talk about substituting, we can substitute our white bread with something more wholesome. So whole wheat bread or whole grain bread, right? And we could also even be creative. We can make bean bread or different types of bread. Now, instead of using processed sugar or white sugar, granulated sugar as we call it, instead of using that, we could actually use agave or honey, right? It's a great substitute. Or no sugar at all.
What about the juice?
Juice. Well, juice, we can actually use water. We can have the option of using water, right? This is actually a diet soda. Diet soda is an option. However, I believe that you can actually just use less sweet drinks, juices that are unsweetened, instead of using diet soda. Water is obviously a great option as well too. So when dishing out your actual breakfast, lunch, and dinner, this is what your plate should look like. Something like this. Okay. So could you identify the things here?
Yeah, so I'm seeing grilled chicken.
Right, which is protein.
Right. I'm seeing red beans.
Good, also a good source of protein. Legumes.
I'm seeing the fig, my faves, as well as some sweet potatoes.
These are the complex carbohydrates.
All right.
So far we have proteins, beans, which is legumes, complex carbs.
And these take long to digest.
Absolutely.
Right. We have the broccoli and carrots.
So this is the cooked vegetables.
And we have some tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce.
Absolutely. So this is a fresh salad. And look at the plate. Half the plate is basically vegetables and salad. The other half of the plate is protein and carbohydrates. A great balance.
So remember to section out your plate with healthy portions of the different food groups. Consider healthy substitutes and most importantly, consume small frequent meals. I know we've covered a lot in this episode, but diabetes is a big topic.
A huge topic, $826 billion topic. So we've talked about types of diabetes and their differences, risk factors, and likely complications. Testing and they're applying lifestyle changes to manage diabetes. Now, don't forget, this episode will be streaming on our social media pages, so head over there and check us out.
We hope after this episode, you have a wealth of knowledge,
which you can share with your friends, family, and loved ones.
You've been watching The Doctor's Journal, where we help you track your health.
Thank you for joining us.
The Doctor's Journal was brought to you by O Snacks and Medical Associates Hospital.